Hi, I'm Ashwin. In this video, I'm going to show you a beautiful win by white with Danish Gambit. White played e4, black played e5, and now d4, e takes d4, c3, d takes c3, bishop c4, and c takes b2. Bishop captures b2, and this is Danish Gambit accepted, where white has sacrificed two of his pawns to get lead in development. Black played bishop to b4 check. There comes knight to c3, and now knight to f6, attacking the e4 pawn, because this knight is pinned, and white decided to sacrifice the third pawn in order to bring his king into the safety with knight to e2. And for black, it is good to castle here, but in this game black went for knight captures on e4, white just castled, and there comes knight captures c3, knight captures on c3, and bishop captures c3. In case of castle in this position, white can go for this knight to d5, where after knight to c6 and queen to g4 is just crushing, because I am threatening checkmate on g7 and say g6, but then a knight to f6, king to g7 followed by queen to h4 is just winning for white. So in this game we have knight captures c3, knight captures c3, and bishop captures on c3, where white replied with bishop captures on c3. In a normal situation, it is always good to exchange pieces when you are having material advantage, but here this is a mistake, because now white can attack with 4 pieces, 2 bishop, queen, and the rook against black king, and black king has just one defender, and that is poor queen on d8. So here black played this queen to g5 just to stop this queen to a g4, and why it was so necessary. In case you castle in this position, then queen to g4 is just too strong. Say g6, and now this queen to d4, and there is no defense to queen to g7 or h8 because your f7 pawn is pinned. And in case bishop captures c3 and d5, in order to stop this queen to g4, so this bishop is guarding this g4 square, but now this rook to e1 is just too strong, and you cannot play this king to f8 because of bishop to b4 check, and say king to g8 and queen captures on d5. And black cannot save all the threats like queen captures on d8, queen captures on f7, and rook to e8. So in this position white is completely winning. So after rook to e1, king to f8 is not an option. So what else black can play? Say bishop to e6, but then we can go for bishop captures on d5. We are threatening this bishop captures on b7, say knight to c6, but then queen to f3 and say castle. And now we can play bishop captures c6, b captures on c6, and queen to g3, and black will lose this bishop. In case of f6, simply rook captures on e6 is winning, and in case of g6 we can play queen to e5, and black has to play this move f6, and then we can win the bishop on e6. Thus it was really necessary to stop this queen to g4 idea. So black played this queen to g5, and now white played rook to e1 check, king to d8. In case of king to f8, this bishop to b4 is just winning. Say d6, but then bishop capture d6, c takes on d6, and now queen takes on d6, followed by a checkmate in just few moves. Say queen to e7, queen captures, king here, and now this is a checkmate, right? So rook to e1 and king to d8 is forced, and here white played this f4 move, although the same thing can be achieved with this h4, and which is a more logical, more accurate. The point is, after f4 black can actually go for this queen to c5 check, and after bishop to d4 he can play queen to g7 to protect this g7, queen to f8 to protect this g7. Of course you cannot capture the bishop here because a bishop captures on g7 is just crushing. I am threatening this bishop to f6 checkmate, and also I am threatening bishop captures on h8. But anyways, in our game f4 and queen captures on f4 was played, and there comes bishop captures on g7, and here you cannot capture my bishop, but the point is bishop to f6 is just checkmate in one move. So after bishop captures on g7, black played rook to g8, and still queen is defending this f6 square. So white played queen to g4. So in case of queen captures on g4, bishop to f6 is again checkmate. So queen g4, and black played this queen to d6, still guarding this f6 square. But friends, there comes bishop to f6, which allows a checkmate on next move, whatever you place. I mean, queen captures f6 is the only logical move, and then queen captures on g8 is just checkmate. And in case of this queen to e7, queen captures g8 is still checkmate because this a queen is still pinned. So friends, how was the video and the game? Thanks for watching. Bye bye.